What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and in this one we have Germany begins imposing checks on its 9 land borders. Now, before we dive into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy it, please don't forget to smash that subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's find out what's going on in Germany's borders.
Now, Germany has begun imposing tighter controls at all of the country's borders. The government says the measures will help tackle illegal migration and protect the public from threats such as Islamist extremism. The controls within what is normally a wide area of free movement, the European Schengen zone, will initially last for 6 months. DW's Lucia Schulten reports.
From Monday onwards, border checks like these will become more frequent in Germany across all 9 countries with which it shares a land border.
Dang.
Situated in the heart of the European Union, Germany already has temporary checks in place along its borders to the south and east. But as of now, broad checks will also be introduced at the frontiers to the west with France, Luxembourg, Belgium and the Netherlands, and to the north with Denmark, for an initial period of 6 months. As a member of
Dang, so before they only had like 3 countries it seemed like they had border like a regular border checks with it. Now all 9 to fight against illegal migration into the country, where it seems like illegal immigration has become a problem in many countries in the world, or it's starting to seem like this crisis is all like, it seems like everybody's starting to have this crisis in their country from videos that I've been watching.
Free travel Schengen zone, the German government had to notify the EU Commission of its plan. The Schengen zone consists of most EU countries and some of its neighbors. Founded in 1985, this area guarantees free movement without border controls or passport checks. These measures can be reintroduced exceptionally when there is a threat to national internal security. Berlin is justifying its move. This will serve to further limit irregular migration and protect against the acute dangers posed by Islamist terror and serious crime. We are doing everything we can to better protect the people in our country against this. It's a decision that hasn't gone down well with some other EU countries. They fear it undermines the Schengen zone. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk says it's unacceptable.
We will ask other countries affected by Berlin's decisions to consult urgently in the coming hours on action within the European Union on this issue. We will consult with all of Germany's neighbours.
Oh, wow. So they're saying it seems like Poland's leader is condemning Germany for this and saying it isn't right. And Germany's doing this because of, I guess they're worried about Islamic attacks inside of the country, worried about terrorism inside of the country. And so they're taking precautions by more secure border checks in this land where people are supposed to be able to move freely without like passport checks and everything. They changed it due to those concerns about terrorism, I assume, inside of the country. They are able to change it under that law or under that pretense.
The impact from this for Germany's neighborly relationships and for the EU as a whole is also likely to depend on just how much free travel will still be possible.
Let's get more on this now from our correspondent, Lucia Schulten, who filed that report. She joins us from the border with France. She's in Goldene Brem, Saarbrücken, and DW's Julia Saldelli is at the border crossing between Germany and Austria at Neuhaus am Inn. Lucia, you're at Germany's border with France. What do the border control procedures look like there?
Yeah, so maybe you can see this behind me. So cars have to slow down. There's the police standing on the side of the Autobahn. Cars slow down, and when the police officers decide to check one car, they pull over here to the side and they have to drive in front of the police station where their papers are being checked. Since we've been standing here, we've seen one of these long distance buses being checked. So this bus the police went in there and checked the papers of everyone sitting in there.
Oh, wow.
And they also took one man out who then had to go into the police station. So this is how these checks look like. What is important to say is that this border has seen border controls before, also, for example, for the Olympic Games in the recent months, but now there is a broader approach to it. They're part of this broader approach. And we've also heard that they do enforce their police forces to fulfill their obligation and to have these checks.
Dang.
Julia, Germany has been controlling its border with Austria since 2015. Who are the police stopping there?
Checks here at the borders with Austria, so not stopping every car that comes in. There's also a lot of commuters coming across between Germany and Austria. What they're looking for is people trying to enter Germany illegally. For example, who they sometimes stop here are people who have a ban on entering Germany, but also people who want to come into Germany but don't have the right papers for it. For example, they don't have a visa, then they get stopped here and they have to go back to Austria. What happens instead when someone comes to the border and says they want to request asylum in Germany, then the police should let them into the country and then send them to the immigration authorities so that they can present their asylum request and that their documents can be checked. Police here are also looking for people smugglers. It happens that, for example, they try to bring people into Germany in big vans, so they tend to stop bigger vans or vehicles that could look like they could belong to people smugglers trying to bring people from Austria into Germany.
Okay, so at both borders, it doesn't look like they're stopping everybody. To me, from what both reporters says, is they're stopping like the larger buses, maybe the larger vehicles that look like multiple people could fit inside. Like when I say multiple, more than just a car, so more than just like 4 or 5, but maybe like up to 10 people. Make sure checking everybody's papers inside the vehicle, making sure everything's okay. And if somebody comes requesting asylum, then they send them to the immigration office. But they're both just kind of, I guess, random checks where they're not stopping everybody. They just, I guess, randomly kind of choose a vehicle and they'll check and then continue letting everybody go.
Lucia, this is a big deal. Germany imposing border checks on all 9 of its land borders. Tell us more about how Germany's neighbors are reacting to these controls.
Yeah, so we have heard this in the report. There has been criticism towards Germany. So over the weekend, it seems like German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has been doing some damage control, if you want. So he's been picking up the phone, talking to some other European heads of states, and also to Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the EU Commission. And he said that there was understanding for Germans' border checks and controls. There's probably a lot will depend probably on how these checks will really look like and what they will mean for the free movement of persons and goods within the European Union, and if this will be a hindrance to them or not.
Julia, tell us more about what's behind this move. Why has the German government decided to impose checks at all its borders now?
Well, the German government has been under pressure to control and curb irregular migration into the country. That pressure has been coming a lot from the conservative opposition, the CDU party, but it also came after, at the beginning of this month, the far-right AfD party won its first ever state election in Germany on a campaign that was mostly focused on migration. So the government now has to show that they're in control, that they can reduce the number of irregular migrants coming into the country, and the government claims that since October of last year, 30,000 people were stopped at the borders that already saw border checks in place, and they believe that border checks across the country can increase that number even more. However, migration experts that I spoke to have also said they're not sure how much of a difference border controls can make. Not all entries into Germany can be controlled, and that doesn't really make a difference for the local authorities, the schools, the doctors' offices that are actually struggling with the high number of people who are entering Germany.
So it sounds like Germany was just having an illegal migration problem, and then some measure comes after a string of deadly terror attacks. And so with the migration issue and with deadly attacks, Germany just wants to be more cautious. And then with different German parties running based off migration policies, the government that is in place now sees that this is what the people want illegal migration handled. They want this problem solved, and so the governor has to look like they're in control. And by doing that, they have to put these border checks into place. And although their neighbors might not be happy, it sounds like after talking to them, neighboring countries are more understanding.
Julia Sardelli from the German-Austrian border and Lucia Schulten there on Germany's border with France. Thank you very much.
Let me know what you guys think about what they said. Let me know what you guys think about the 9 borders. Do you guys think Germany is taking the right actions due to the terror attacks happening, due to the migration issues? I'd love to hear your comments. If you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, get a video a like. And I'll see you guys. Check out that next one. I'll see you guys there.